Peace. You know, life in America is rather strange in the sense that, and that is, of course, comparing it to where I come from. Um, Everything is expensive here, and everything needs money. You know, like nothing is really for free. You want sub, you want something, you have to subscribe to it, or do a mortgage, or have to finance. You know, so it is strange. Like even for example, you know, the culture is obviously a bit different. It's incredible. I mean, to the point whereby people have two jobs or three jobs just to get on with paying bills. Now, for people who are from Africa, right, or maybe even the Middle East, having two to three jobs here can be very strange, you know, uh, because I mean, the idea of having two jobs or three jobs is just so mind-boggling and frustrating, and it's stressful. But like, at the same time, you see people here working 24/7 just to pay bills. I mean, I know this is really a hard truth and like, you know, strong pill to, you know, to swallow, but at the end of the day, you work so hard, you get the money, but at the end of the day, you send the money back. Hmm? But people don't realize this. I mean, you have to really think about it. When I say you send the money back, you send the money back to, well, technically in the system or the government or whatever the case is. Whenever you buy, you know, new pair of shoes, or you subscribe to, you know, a certain channel or whatever the case is, or sometimes, you know, you go buy groceries, you're sending the money back. At the end of the day, it leaves you sort of broke, but not really broke, but like, according to the census, you're pretty much poor. So it is really intriguing to know that life, the perspective of life in the West or like in America is not obviously not the same as other places. Here you have to finance your house or mortgage, or rather finance your car. In other places, let's take you know, Africa for example, East Africa or South Africa. You go, you get a house, you pay it in one go. Same thing for a car, so you don't have to pay something like in time. Now, I understand that that's how it is in America, because majority of things are freakishly expensive. You know, you get to buy a $40,000 car or 400,000 house. Like, that's insanely expensive. So I can understand the whole mortgage and, you know, financing, but why is it like that? Why are things in America so expensive? Why is it put on high? Because sometimes I really think about it, and I say to myself, unless you're really really rich, which is only a few percent in America, you are struggling every day, and to a point whereby some even end up, you know, living in their cars, or having to, you know, get an RV just to be able to live, to survive. And some end up living, you know, in tents. Some end up being homeless just because everything is so freakishly expensive. Like, I don't understand that. I mean, even healthcare. My God, healthcare is. And you know, the funny thing is, like, when all these insurance companies tell you that, you know, they will help you out, in reality, you're helping yourself out, because you're paying these companies to treat you better, or like to, you know, to fix stuff for you, you know. So it's yeah, it's intriguing and strange at the same time. You know, we watch all these movies and shows, you know, Lord of the Rings, or even like books, right? Uh, all these fantasy novels and adventure, and we look at them and we see all these like villages thriving, and towns and cities, and they're just so, they're aligned, they're so balanced. and then we want that. But side note, that can be applied in real life. It's just that people need to change their mentality or how they see the world first before they do that. Because sometimes they'll be like, hey, if all of this was real, oh no, but that's just only fantasy. No, you can apply that in real life. You just only have to put yourself in that situation and say, you know what, this can be done. That's it. I mean, Hollywood makes a lot of money producing these movies, these fantasy, adventure, action, sci-fi, whatever the case may be, only to sell out, a certain idea that you as an individual watching this show can have in reality. What I'm pretty much trying to tell you is that all that you see and all that you read doesn't necessarily have to be fantasy. I mean, of course, reaching within the practical and reality of things, right? I mean, some people live in the South and, they grow their own things, they have their own electricity, their own water system. You can do that. On one hand, you don't necessarily have to buy into, pun intended, things that you see, right? Just because something new came out, you don't have to get it. Just because a new PS4, an iPhone, or an Android phone came out, something new, sneakers, Jordans, whatever they can, you don't need to have that. You don't need to buy something expensive. Just go to the thrift shop. They have insanely nice things when you go there. Heck, if you go antique, some stuff are very, very affordable. You just, have to look in the right places. But like generally speaking, if people got out of the mentality of wanting to buy things all the time, and instead look at things in the long run, people would save a lot of money. Because let's face it, 60% of the time we buy things that we don't necessarily need. It's just like for flashy and all that, but in reality you don't need that. You can just like live a simple life, and I mean, of course we all like the finer things in life, but I feel that you need to know how to balance. You have food, but at the end of the day, you don't need a lot of clothing. You probably just like need, a few necessary clothing for a certain occasion, and that's pretty much it. I mean, look at Michael Jackson. He was very iconic in his attire, right? So you just need few clothing, for example. I mean, you don't need 100,000 shoes, right? Some people have those and they're just in storage. Like, there's no point. Just, don't be too materialistic. I mean, all humans love materialism, right? To some degree. But just need to find that balance. Get the right food, live in the right place, of course have the right mentality, the right outlook in life, the right worldview. Because again, let's face it, sometimes our worldview and our mentality are so bent, so so condensed because of the things that we intake. Most people don't really go out there and see what's going on. They only see one particular view of one particular perspective of the prism, to the point whereby like they really cannot really expand their brains. So at the end of the day, try your best to save. Travel, read a book, open your mind, think differently than others. Be simple, but like open your mind and open your heart. Don't be too materialistic. Be materialistic to a certain level, like not too much, But yeah, don't focus too much on, feeding your ego, right? Feed your soul. Don't fill your mind with trash. Don't fill your mind with waste, right? Try to look outside the box and just make sure when you're getting something, you're getting it for your benefit, not just like for, oh, I feel like I want this. No, just have something durable. If it's good, you can have it for a long time. But at the end of the day, make sure when you get that money, when you get, you know, that paycheck, whatever, that paycheck, save. Just save. Because like a lot of people insanely have really good job, but at the end of the day, you'll find that they probably have like what, $10 in their account. Like, how does that happen? I mean, of course, like, again, too many subscriptions, you know, too many. You're financing something, or you're doing a mortgage. Like, if you are buying a car, why not buy it on a lower tone? Like, you don't have to buy the $3,000 car, or the not the 3,000, but like 34,000 or like $100,000 car. Like, go simple, make money, get that later on, you know, when you're somewhat when you have the affordability. Because at the end of the day, you are pretty much chaining yourself, you know, like, you don't want that, you know. So, you know, just a thought. Peace out.